The restaurant's lights were soft, the music a mellow jazz tune drifting overhead, but in booth 12 the tension was electric. Anna Miller slid a plate of salmon onto the table, her hand steady though her heart skipped a beat seeing the man in the suit. He was Marcus Levinson, founder and CEO of Levinson Global, a man whose deals changed markets, whose name echoed in every boardroom. Tonight he'd brought with him a foreign delegation, and whatever he said or did tonight would matter. From across the room, the foreign clients watched silently. They sipped wine, their eyes sharp, analyzing everything. His words, his manners, the way he treated even the lowliest staff. "Excuse me. Can you bring me some bread, please?" Marcus said, not particularly politely. Anna nodded and turned away. A few moments later, he frowned. "This is cold." He handed the plate back before she could even place it entirely. "Do you expect me to eat this? Honestly, this is unacceptable." His voice was measured but cold. Anna's cheeks burned. Her shift had already run long and she was tired. She forced a calm smile. "I'm sorry, sir. I'll bring you a fresh plate. Would you like me to recommend another dish?" She attempted to diffuse the tension. He sneered. "You know what? I asked for the salmon. You bring it cold. That's incompetent. That's stupid. Do you even care about your job?" A hush fell. The foreign clients shifted. One of them raised his glass. Anna swallowed. She'd never been insulted like this in front of customers. She wished she could vanish. Then, something snapped inside Marcus. He glanced at the businessmen who'd flown in from halfway across the globe. Their faces were blank, their gazes shifting between him and the waitress. He cleared his throat. "I apologize," he said louder now. That was uncalled for. But even as he said it, a corner of his jaw tightened. The damage was done. He turned away from Anna and spoke to the foreign dignitaries. "Gentlemen, you see what I will not tolerate in incompetence." There, he sealed it. Marcus was not a cruel man at his core. In his childhood, he had grown up among scarcity and struggle, watching his mother clean houses by day and sew clothes by night just so they could eat. From that hardship, a fierce drive was born, not just to be rich, but to never feel powerless or humiliated again. By his 30s, Marcus had built Levinson Global from nothing, with high-stakes deals, ruthless competition, and a mind that calcified around control and perfection. Success meant power. Power meant control. Control meant nothing, and nothing wing could ever humiliate him again. Yet tonight, confronted with a waitress in a quiet restaurant, his defenses tumbled. He watched Anna's shoulders dip, her eyes stinging with tears. In her fetal posture behind the serving station, she looked so small. He'd just publicly humiliated someone. And for what? A plate of fish. One of the foreign delegates, an older woman with gentle eyes, stood. The room quieted as she approached. She turned to the delegation and said, "A man's character is shown not in how he treats those above him but below him." She spoke slowly. "If he cannot show courtesy or respect to those who serve, then he is not fit to lead those he does not know." Marcus's breath caught. Her words stabbed at him, each syllable ringing like a bell. He turned to her, speechless. The others murmured agreement. The diplomat returned to her seat. The damage was irreversible. The delegation withdrew. The men rose, shook hands with Marcus, murmured apologies, but their eyes were distant now. The deal was dead. $3 billion of contracts vanished over one insult. The loss was instant. The humiliation was worse. The foreign clients left. Marcus remained in his booth, staring at his reflection in the dim window. Had he really destroyed that in a single moment? Later, he pushed his chair back, paid the bill, and left through the restaurant's side door. Outside, the night was cool, quiet. He lingered near the car, his mind reeling. Inside, Anna sat at the back, shaky. Her co-workers asked if she was okay. She blinked, rubbed her eyes. She thought, "I tried to be kind even when he was unkind. I tried to do my job." She never expected anything in return. Then Marcus emerged. He walked slowly toward the building, his steps hesitant. He stopped when he reached the entrance. Anna, startled, froze. He held out an envelope. Inside, a crisp check enough to redeem every hour she'd ever worked at subpar wages. He offered a hand. I owe you more than an apology." Tears pooled in Anna's eyes. She tried to refuse, but he caught her wrist. "Not now," he said. "Later I'll make it right. But right now, I want you to know I'm sorry." He took a breath. "I was cruel." I was insecure. I let my fear control me. That's not who I want to be, Anna stammered, wiped her cheeks. You don't have to do this, he shook his head. I do. In the weeks that followed, Marcus did something no one expected. He set up a foundation in Anna's name. He visited the restaurant unannounced, not to flaunt wealth but to serve a meal, to ask how to help. He gave scholarships to children of service workers, funded health care for restaurant staff, and transformed parts of his company culture such that every employee would be treated with dignity, regardless of rank. And Anna? She didn't just accept, she became a partner. When Marcus offered her a place in the foundation, first as a liaison to service communities, she declined in shock. But later, she agreed to a role teaching people how to serve with dignity, how to uplift rather than let status degrade. In a surprising turn, that foundation became a bridge between Marcus's corporate world and the everyday world, a place where millions found dignity, hope, and the chance to serve rather than be served. One night, years later, Marcus invited Anna to dinner, the same restaurant chain's flagship, newly renovated staff-run. He stood at a podium before a crowd. He told the story, not as boast, but confession. You see, he said, voice low, that night I lost a $3 billion deal, but I won something infinitely more valuable, the reminder that empathy and humility are more powerful than arrogance, that every person, from CEO to waitress, Carmen, deserves respect. Kindness is not weakness. It is strength. Anna, standing beside him, smiled. The audience stood and applauded. Tears glistened. Marcus reached out, took her hand, and whispered, "Thank you. Not for the money, not for the foundation, but for teaching him what he'd forgotten." The world remembered that story. Media ran articles, the deal gone wrong that changed a billionaire. But their words missed the real point. The point was not that a CEO lost billions. The point was that a human, flawed and proud, chose to break down his walls, to listen, to repent, and to value others. This is a story about kindness and growth. We all will make mistakes, and some small, some earth-shaking. But what defines us is what we do when the mistake is made. Do we ignore the damage, or do we reach out? Do we apologize? Do we rebuild? Do we serve? Marcus lost $3 billion, but gained a reborn heart. Anna, once a battered waitress, became a figure of dignity and leadership. And the world got a lesson. The power of humanity lies not in money or status, but in grace and recognition, in the simple act of treating each person, and no matter their station, as worthy. So next time you feel small, or burdened, or overlooked, remember, one act of compassion can change a life. One apology can shake an empire. One person's humility can rewire a world. Be kind. Be brave. Let empathy lead.